Hey, what's up, y'all? Kenzo is back. Welcome to the final gameplay of Resident Evil 6. This is it. This has been a long freaking gameplay, y'all. My God, I've had to go through, what is this, I think, 20th gameplay of this game. It's been weeks. It's been an adventure. It's a long game. There's a lot to do here. So let's polish this puppy off. Say that 5 times fast. Here we go.
This is HQ requesting damage estimate. This place is done! There are BOWs everywhere!
She wasn't joking about raising hell. Leon.
Leon, it's...
Ada, thought she was dead.
Let's move while we can.
Shit! There's too many of them!
I'm beginning to feel like your personal bodyguard, Mr. Kennedy.
Leon, that way!
I wonder if this is a part of Simmons' plan.
I doubt it. Even Simmons wasn't this sloppy.
This sucks.
Elena, we'll get through this. We've got to.
You're on your own now, you two. Huh. It's getting a little crowded up here. Somebody ought to tell them their boss is retired.
Eat missile! Oh, yeah. Another one? Okay.
They're getting desperate. You really didn't want to get this far, did you, Kyle?
Man, I have no recollection of doing this at all.
That's a nice model. Wouldn't mind one of those for myself.
It's not even shooting at me. Oh, there it goes. Whoa.
All style, no substance. Typical. I've wasted enough time here. Better get to the tower.
for more? I know what you did. Ada! You disobeyed me. You took Wesker's son away! Use that bastard's blood to make the virus stronger.
That's what you get for trusting Ada Wong.
Dude, they're like aiming on this helicopter is kind of wonky.
That's it? Show's over?
It's like super sensitive. You know, like I barely touched the stick and I'm like, yeah. Where are Leona and Helena doing? Where are they? Oh, they're there.
No happen.
Get in.
Glad to see you're safe. Speed up!
Going as fast as I can. Here it comes. Get ready. Unload on that fucking bastard. I think we picked them off.
Stay focused. We can take him.
He's letting you know. This is what you get for playing with the sea virus.
Whoa. Is he gonna die? Oh my god, it's taking forever. Come on.
stay out of trouble, can you, Leon? And always one step behind. You and Carla have left a lot of misery in your wake, Simmons. I'm gonna make sure it all ends here. Maybe I can at least buy these people some time. We've all seen enough senseless death for one day.
Oh, so that's how that gets there. Okay. Alright.
I hope they've got insurance. I'd like to do more. I really would. Carrying everyone else is an option.
Chungus!
Excuse me, I'm trying to land here.
Is that it?
Now, time to clean up the last of Simmons' mess.
It's a cool set piece, man, with the thunder and lightning, all that. Pretty freaking cool. God, man, she's brave, because look, like, down. Hell no. Hell no.
Okay, last item on the list. Eliminate all traces of the theft of my identity. Leon, ever the survivor. Oh well. No rest for the weary. Perfect. Back for more? You really are a glutton for punishment.
Ada, welcome back. You finally come back to me. You and I were destined to be together. You were never as the real me.
God.
That means you must obey me. I'll be gentle.
Oh, I didn't dodge. It was...
Each of you belongs to me.
Whoa, zombie? Yeah.
You're disgusting. Let's get this straight. I'm not your little doll, Simmons. In fact, the only thing I have in common with her is hatred for you. Appreciate the gesture. But I can only just be mean.
Yeah, get him.
Are my masterpiece, my beautiful creation. I want you by my side. Come to me, Ada.
Help Leon. And who? Where? Oh, they're right there. Oh. What am I helping them with? Oh, doesn't he, like, show up at some point? Bye.
Ada, if you can hear me, shoot him now!
He's off to kill the competition.
Oh, you fucking zombie. He, like, gave me the old 1-2 punch. Bastard. Oh, hell, I'm reloading.
Ada! Elena, cover me.
Leon!
Ada, can you hear me? Let it end like this.
We'll be together.
Not if I can help it. Come on, wake up. If you're really Ada, I know you can pull through this. We both can.
I was just resting my eyes.
Shouldn't sleep on the job.
Ugh. Oh my god.
Leon!
Do you want to live? Then beg. Beg for your life.
I'll pass.
Can't always get what you want, Simmons. Let's call this closure. You really should have moved on. So cute. You're really confused by all this, aren't you, Leon? It's kind of fun to watch.
Ada!
So, this is where Carla did her experiments, huh?
Another failure. Bring me another subject. Why do you think we had this lab built here in the first place? Just go outside. There's thousands of subjects to choose from. Tell Simmons that we're busy. I'm on the verge of solving this. Are you refusing my orders?
We're beyond sympathy at this point. We're beyond humanity. A job, huh? Sure. My schedule just cleared.
Okay. Here it is. This is the end of Resident Evil 6, and I'm going to give my final thoughts on it. You know, I touched on it a little bit at the end of every, you know, section for like Leon and Chris and Jake. But this this is gonna be my final talking to you over the credits thing that I enjoy doing so much. Well, obviously, let's just get this out of the way. I love Resident Evil 6. I love it. It's one of my favorite games. Do I recommend playing it what I did with the single player? Sure, it's still fun. But if you really want to have fun with this game and get the most out of it, get a buddy, get online, and play the co-op together, and I guarantee you have a good time. It is a lot of fun. The single player is just, it's still fun, but it's way more fun playing through with a buddy. You know, the graphics in this game are still, to me, pretty incredible looking. I've done this whole gameplay series on my computer with like maxed out graphics and maxed out resolution and all that. Maybe that explains why some of my cutscenes were kind of like jittery looking. I'm not sure why, but it's still a good looking game. The music's good, sound effects are good. The story, I've said this before, y'all, in past gameplays of Resident Evil. It's a freaking Resident Evil game. I mean, you can't really sit there and nitpick the story. It just, it's a Resident Evil game. Like, there's a virus, it does things, it usually gets loose because of reasons, and then you have to stop it. And then usually at the end, everything explodes, right? And this is one of the few Resident Evil games that doesn't end with a self-destruct sequence, because most of them do end with that. You get to the end of the lab, and then it goes into self-destruct mode, and you have to escape. That's just how most of them end. I mean, hell, the first game ended that way, 2 ended that way, 3 ended that way, Code Veronica ended that way. Did 4 end that way? Yeah, 4 ended that way. How did 5 end? Yeah, I think 5 ended in a big explosion, right? Gosh, I can't remember the end of 5. Well, anyway, you get the idea. I remember the biggest complaint people got about this game was like the gameplay. Like, they didn't like the running and gunning, they didn't like the sliding, they didn't like the cover-based shooting, which I don't care about the cover-based shooting either. But as you see me play this, now I did play on one of the easier difficulties just so I could show you all the story and just play the game without dying over and over. But if you want to have fun with this game, embrace the melee system. Embrace the melee, the sliding mechanic, embrace the counters that you can do. Like, sure, you can shoot in this game and play it like 4 and 5 and, all those other ones if you like. But why? Like, the melee in this game is so freaking fun. Like, if you're not meleeing all the time, in my opinion, you're doing it wrong. I guess in order of campaigns that I like from, like, least to, my most favorite. If I'm honest, I would rank my least favorite is the Chris and Pierce campaign. Not because it's bad. It's not. It's fine. It's just, it's all kind of samey. They run, they gun, they blow things up, right? It's the weaker of them. My next favorite one is the Jake and Sherry campaign. And it's just, I mean, it's really difficult for me to articulate why that is, because my next favorite one is the Ada campaign. And I like hers because it kind of has some elements of the older games. It's got some puzzles. It's got some things you got to figure out. And I like that kind of stuff. Even though it doesn't make sense and it irritates me sometimes, but I still like it. And it had like an old school Resident Evil feel. And then my most favorite, of course, is the Leon campaign, only because it had like zombies and your classic kind of Resident Evil monsters in it. And Leon's my favorite character. Like, he's the bee's knees. Even though I do have a soft spot for Jake, especially after going through it right now and playing him again. I'm like, yeah, he's a pretty cool character. I remember when this game came out. It's a very divisive game, and if you're watching this, you're either gonna fall on one side of the fence that you love it, it's fun, or you just hate it. You think it's the worst game ever made. Not much of a middle ground there. I think it's cool. And the story, the way they did it is very interesting because they did it very Tarantino style, where it's like you have the Leon campaign, and there's some stuff thrown in there you don't get everything, and then you have to play each section to piece it together, and then like when you play through the game a second time and third, it starts making a lot more sense on the timeline of everything. And I remember that's one thing other people complain about. It's like, God, like, yeah, Resident Evil's have bad stories, but my God, this one's terrible. And to be fair, I can see why people would say that, because the first time I played it, I was confused as hell. I'm like, okay, now I'm in China, now I'm here, now I'm there, now it's 6 months earlier, 6 months before. It's all over the place. It's intentional. And, you know, I like that they did something different with the game. And, you know, it was cool that they took the idea that that 5 started, you know, because 5 was the first, well, not the first, but I guess the first major cooperative game, and you know, really expanded upon it, gave you different chapters, different characters, had the stories all interweaving. The Ada campaign is co-op. Like I said, there's another character that will follow you around that looks like Hunk, and it's pretty cool. What is strange about that character though is like when you're Ada, when you like grapple hook around, like the person that's playing as the little Hunk looking guy, you just kind of like spawn next to her because there's no animation for you like swinging up there with her. So like I was playing with a buddy of mine, and I was playing as Ada, and I would grapple up to somewhere, and he'd be like, "Okay, I'm here." He would just appear next to me. It was so weird. I highly recommend this game. I think it's worth playing. I think it's a great game. It's very different than any other Resident Evil, because I mean it is an evolution of 5, but they took it to like a whole nother level with this game. And I said this before in some other gameplays going through this, but I really wish they would make another game like this. I really, really do. I would love another crazy, you know, cooperative run and gun and melee experience, and I just don't think that's going to happen based on the games they've come out with since this game. They've gone kind of back to the more horror, kind of scary focus of it, which I'm not complaining. I like that stuff too. But something about this gameplay, it just clicks for me in all the right ways, and I adore playing this game, especially with a friend, man. Like, I typically don't play this by myself. Like, here, at some point, I got a buddy that has this on Switch, or I'm sorry, he's getting it on Switch, and guess what? I'm going to play through it with him on the Switch, because it doesn't take much to convince me to go, hey man, you like want to play Resident Evil 6? Yes. Yes, I do. I also wish they would come out with like a Resident Evil All-Star game. That's kind of sort of what this felt like in a way, but special thanks to Valve for use of the Left 4 Dead 2 content? Huh, I don't know what that is. Anyway, I wish they have like a big game like this that had like all the Resident Evil main characters in one big game. That would be freaking awesome. Come on, Capcom, if you're listening, make it happen. Come on. Warner Brothers? Huh, I didn't know Warner Brothers was involved. What Left 4 Dead content are they talking about? Is there some DLC that I'm not aware of? Freaking Valve. Valve needs to come out with Left 4 Dead 3 already and quit screwing around. God, are these crates ever going to end? Valve! See? Why is Valve on there? I'm going to have to research this. Thank you for playing. Well, you know what? Thank you, Capcom, for making a fun game. I don't care what anyone says. You made a fun game. Thank you, Capcom. Okay, and with all that being said, I am now officially done with Resident Evil 6. It's taken me a long time to go through this game because of just basically by design of how I split up my gameplays, but it's a big game. There's a lot to do here, a lot to experience. I think next up is Revelations 2, which I am very excited to play that again. I haven't played it in probably 4 or 5 years, so looking forward to that. So, if y'all have watched any of my Resident Evil 6 gameplays, thank you. If you've watched this video and got all the way here just to hear me talk, thank you. If you watch any of my videos, thank you. I appreciate it. Um, I'm gonna go. Resident Evil 6 is done. I'm gonna uninstall it and move on with my life. I'll see you for my next gameplay. As always, thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.